Okay, so we are going to take a look at today's spiral review. Make sure we're on the right page. We are doing Q17, and today is Tuesday. So for the first one, we are doing an order of operations problem. And so I like to just write out those letters of PEMDAS and kind of keep track of where I'm at, make sure I go in order, and make sure I handle all the things, okay? So starting with the P, we need to handle the parentheses. We have this one here, 72 divided by 9, so that would leave us with 8. Then I'm going to pull down the rest of my problem so that we don't forget any parts of it in the process. Okay, and that's our only set of parentheses, so we are done with that P. The next one is exponents. We have one exponent in this question. 7 squared is going to look like 7 times 7. We have 1, 2 sevens to match that 2 there. Okay, 7 times 7 I know is 49. So once again, 49, and let's pull down all the parts of the question. Okay, and that takes care of our exponents. Our next section would be multiplication and division, but in this, what's left, there aren't any, so we can just cross that out, and now we're down to addition and subtraction. Remember, we don't have to go in that order once we're to these because they're married, right? So we're just going to go from left to right as if we're reading. So 105 minus 49, I'm going to work that out down here. 105 minus 49. Well, I can't take 9 away from 5, and my next door neighbor doesn't have anything either. So I got to go 2 doors down, leave that guy with 0. Then that becomes a 10, and now I can take 1 from him. So it becomes a 9, and the 5 becomes a 15. 15 minus 9 is going to leave us with 6. 9 minus 4 is going to leave us with 5. So for this portion of our question, we're left with 56 plus 8. That'll be our final part, okay? I'm also going to work that out down here. 56 plus 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. Carry the 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. So my final answer will be 64. Okay? All right, let's look at the next question. So this one is subtraction. We're going to just work through this one, find the difference. The difference word is what tells us that we are working with subtraction. So let's get started here. We can't take 7 away from 4, so we're going to run next door and borrow 1. That would leave that 8 as a 7 and make the 4 a 14. 14 minus 7 is 7. 7 minus 0 is 7. Okay, can't take 4 away from 2, so we're running next door. That becomes 12 minus 4. That's going to leave us with 8. Can't take 9 from 3, so let's go again. 13 minus 9 would leave us with 4. 7 minus 4 leaves us with 3. And 8 minus 3 leaves us with 5. Then if we want to go ahead and put that comma in there, we're left with 534,877. Okay? All right, the third problem, we are dividing with a fraction. So we've been doing lots of these. We know that when we divide with a fraction, we're going to keep, change, flip. Hopefully we know that by now, right? Keep, change, flip. So invisible math, remember, tells me that any whole number is really over 1. Okay, so we're going to keep that 6 over 1. We're going to change our symbol to a multiplication, and we're going to flip this last fraction so it's 7 over 2. Okay. 6 times 7 equals 42. 1 times 2 equals 2. And I don't want to leave it that way. That's an improper fraction. And so I'm going to divide 2 into 42 and see how many times I can do that. So 2 will go into 4 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. So that part would be 0. Pull down this 2. 2 will fit into 2 one time. That leaves me with 2. When I subtract, I get 0. So I know that the answer to this is 21. Okay. Okay, this next question says that Kevin makes $78.37 a day, per day. And they want to know how much does he make in 7 days. So we're going to take that daily rate of 78.37. We're going to multiply it by 7 days, okay? So 7 times 7 is going to give us 49. We're going to carry that 4. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 4 more would give us 25. Oh, carry that. 7 times 8 is 56. 57, 58. And 7, oh, let's carry that 5. Just about forgot. Okay. 7 times 7 again is 49. Plus 5 more. That's going to leave me with 54. And I don't want to forget that I have this decimal here. Okay. So that is 2 spots in up here. So I want to make sure it's 2 spots in up here. So my final answer, how much Kevin makes in 7 days, he makes $548.59. Okay. Goodness. Open the page here. Okay, next one. They ask us to find the product. We know that product means the answer to a multiplication question. So 9 times 8, that's going to give me 72. Carry my 7. 8 times 8 would give me 64. Plus 7 more, that's going to bump me up to 71. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 7 more, that's going to give me 31. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 more is going to give me 11. Lots of ones in that one. Okay, 8 is done talking to everybody at the party, so we're going to hold a spot for him and move on to the 5 now. Okay, 5 times 9 is 45. I'm going to carry the 4 this time. 5 times 8 is 40. Plus 4 is 44. Keep the second 4, carry the first one. Okay. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 4 more is 19. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 1 more is 6. Okay. 5's good. He's talked to everybody at the party. So now we need to hold a place for 8 and hold a place for 5. Okay. And let's move on to this 6. 6 times 9 is going to give me 54. Okay. 6 times 8, that's going to give me 48. Plus these 5, that's going to give me 53. So I'll keep the 3, bring up the 5. 6 times 3 is 18. Excuse me. Plus 5 more, it's going to leave me with 23. 6 times 1 plus 2 is going to leave me with 8. Okay, now 6 is done talking to the party. So now my next step is to add all of these numbers up. And if we keep them in nice straight rows, that helps our math to be easier to do and doesn't get us mixed up. So 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 5, 6. 1 plus 4 is 9. 1 plus 9 is 10, and 10 plus 3 is 13. I'm going to carry that one. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 6 is 8, and 8 plus 3 is 11, and 8 plus 1 is 9. Now, once again, we want to remember we have one decimal that we need to take a look at. This is a comma, so we don't need to worry about that. We do need to worry about this decimal, and it's 2 scoops in. So let's do 2 scoops in here. And our final answer, 9,139.62. Okay. All right. Now, we are going to be using the distributive property on this one. We want to see what is a number that we can pull out of both of these in order to do this with distributive property, okay? And I happen to know that I can pull a 3 out of both of these, okay? And if I did 3 times 9, that would get me back to 27. If I did 3 times 20, that would get me back to 60. So one way we could do this distributive property is 3 times 9 plus 20. Okay. All right. Okay. This next one says to make a trail mix, you must have 4 cups of pretzels and 2 cups of bread chips. What is the ratio of pretzels to bread chips? So they said ratio. We love that word. We're going to go ahead and put our symbol in here to show us that we're working with a ratio. So that is our ratio, but we know that usually they want us to simplify it as much as we can. I notice that both of these are even numbers, so I know even numbers are always divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 will leave me with 1, and 4 divided by 2 will leave me with 2. So my more simplified, or the value of this ratio, is 2 to 1. Okay, this one they asked us to complete the table. And this wasn't too bad. This one feels pretty comfortable, right? On this side, we can see that they're counting by 5s. And on this side, so far, it looks like they're counting by 4s. So if we continued that counting by 4s on this side, the next one we would have would be 12, and the final one we would have would be 16. Okay? Too bad. All right, now this one was a little bit more challenging than the others, so let's talk about a good way to do this. So, if a board game was originally $25 and it was on sale for $18, what is the percent of the discount? Okay, so in order to do this, I'm gonna draw me a tape diagram really quick just to visualize it. The full part of this tape diagram would be 100%, right? And our 100% price, our original price, was $25. What we paid, or what it was on sale was for $18. Okay? And what they want to know is what was the percent of the discount. Now, the discount is this portion here, the portion that we did not have to pay for. They knocked that part off of the price. So we can do this a couple of ways. My favorite way, though, is to set up 2 ratios. So we have 25 to 100. That's this side. And we do know 18, so I can put 18 up there with the dollars. But we don't know this one. We don't know what the percent is, okay? So I need to find a good way to get from this ratio over to this ratio. And 25 to 18 is just not comfortable. So I'm going to try first and reduce this and see if I can find a number that's easier, okay? So I actually know that 25 goes into 100. So both of these are divisible by 25. 25 divided by 25 would leave me with 1, and 100 divided by 25 would leave me with 4. Now I feel much better going from 1 to 18. That's easy. That's going to be times 18. So now I need to do the same thing to the bottom. I'm going to take 18 and I'm going to multiply it by 4. 8 times 4 is 32. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 more is 7. So what I just found out was that the $18, or this section, is 72%. But what they want to know is what's the discount. So I need to figure out what this portion is. And now that I know the 72, I can just subtract that from 100 to find out what kind of discount I got. Sorry, that's 8 and a 2. So our discount was 28% for this item. Okay, all right, great job today.